Hey Aries, welcome to this reading. I hope that you're doing well today. Eight of Swords reversed, the Hanged Man, Pisces. We've got the Three of Coins reversed, Ten of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I feel with the Three of Coins and the Ten of Cups reversed, it's this message again of something around protecting the home. Which look, Four of Wands reversed, which I don't ordinarily get with the Three of Coins, but I don't know, we'll see where this is going. Ten of Swords, Two of Coins, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. On the back, Four of Swords. This is interesting because I am not convinced that this is the energy of the Divine Feminine. I think this is the Divine Feminine looking at the Divine Masculine and picking up on what the Divine Masculine is doing and feeling right now. But we'll see. So, the first thing I'm going to say is this doesn't feel like whoever's energy this is, and we'll figure this out, doesn't feel like they're having the best time. Feels like this is an energy of concern or worry or focus, possibly recovering from an ending or some kind of a betrayal. I'm trying to tap into this and see if it's the feminine, but I just don't think it is. I think this is the feminine observing the masculine. Let me get a few more cards. This feels like somebody's saying something around me, there's been a betrayal or there's been an ending or something is on shaky ground. I'm feeling vulnerable in some way. So I'm trying to fix this, or I'm keeping my head down and I'm almost distracting myself by working diligently on something else while everything else around me feels shaky. I feel unsafe. And that's that message that I was getting at the start about, feeling there's a need for protection or feeling that the home isn't providing protection. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, with the Five of Wands. Someone's being moved forward out of something and it feels shaky. It feels, like you're standing on shaky ground, but instead of jumping off onto ground that's stable, it's like, well, if I just if I just work instead, or if I just put my earphones in and listen to music, I won't notice that the ground beneath me is crumbling away. That's fine. King of Swords reversed. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Knight of Swords, Nine of Cups. On the back, the Sun in reverse. And I don't know if you saw, I just pushed down this Ace of Cups that actually feels relevant. We've got Leo here. But this is like, this is really interesting. I'm not feeling I can't tap into what's going on with the Divine Feminine at this point, which kind of tells me for the Divine Feminines, everything is probably okay. They're probably in a fairly decent place. Spirit is saying, at least for the collective watching this reading, we don't need to put out any messages or give any advice or any urgent, whatever information. So I think the feminine's pretty good here. It's got everything under control, but the feminine is observing the masculine. And what I will say here is it's like the feminine's watching something really going to shit, if I'm honest, around the masculine, and it's because something is coming in that's a wish. And I will say the masculine doesn't seem to be doing anything to hurry it up or to slow it down. At least, that this is what the feminine is seeing and observing. Okay, let's have a look at the Ten of Swords. Five of Swords reversed. Something is done. Okay, let's say the feminine knows the masculine is in some kind of a relationship or connection, whether it's familial, romantic, work, whatever it is. And usually there's constant conflict, arguments, falling outs. It's something the feminine has been able to observe or can pick up on from the masculine or has heard through other people, that sort of thing. There are not arguments anymore for the masculine in that situation because it's just over, it's just done. There's no point even in arguing, and somehow it's like the feminine knows this. I don't know if the Divine Feminine has seen this play out, is hearing this from mutual friends or something, or if they just can pick up and feel it, or they've noticed a change in the masculine. What else for the Ten of Swords? Yeah, look, the Lovers and the Hierophant. So we've got Gemini, we've got Taurus. The Lovers, twin flame card. The Hierophant can talk about an institution. It can talk about spiritual knowledge, wisdom, tradition, a big change. The Lovers also, I should say, is known as the choice, and it's making a life-changing decision here. Something big is happening. On the Divine Masculine's end, the Divine Feminine knows it, and that's what's coming through today for the Divine Feminine. So maybe this is confirmation then that if you are watching this as a Divine Feminine, and you're resonating with just knowing something pivotal is happening for your masculine, you are correct. That's the message today. So maybe some of you are coming here looking for confirmation of that. Let me see, anything else with this Eight of Pentacles? Yeah, Temperance. The masculine's honestly like, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to keep up with my daily routine. I'm not going to get in the way of this change, but I'm just going to pretend I can't even see it. That makes me feel the safest right now. Temperance, Sagittarius. I'm going to keep balance. I'm going to do what I can to pretend everything's fine. Look, we've got these 2 cups in Temperance. We've got the same 2 cups in the Star card. Energy comes in, energy goes out. I breathe in, I breathe out. Everything's fine. I'm going to keep my head down. I'm not going to look around me. And I think partly that's because the masculine wants this change to happen. Okay, so we've got Aquarius with the Star, and there's a knowing from the masculine that this change is putting them on their, their true path at this time. Look, we've got the Fool on the back, a new beginning. We've got Aries, Aquarius, the World in reverse underneath. This reading feels a bit messy and unfinished, and that's because that's exactly what's happening. There's a transition here that the feminine knows the masculine is going through, and from my ego perspective as a reader, I kind of don't like it because it doesn't feel tight, cohesive. It feels a bit like I'm going to be putting something out there on YouTube and it's just like blah, like I've just thrown up onto the table. But I do think that's the message for today. Okay, right, so let's get some oracle cards. I'm still on the side of the Divine Feminine, so we'll see if these oracles will talk specifically about the feminine or what the feminine is observing in the masculine at this time. That's what's kind of come up already. And also, look at these major arcana we've got here. We've got the Lovers, Hierophant, Temperance, Star, the Fool, possibly some others I can't see underneath. But yeah, big changes happening to the masculine, and the feminine knows. Wow, look, possibly through telepathy. Excuse me. This is number 38. So 3, 8, 11, 2, if we add the 11, the ones together could be relevant. Telepathy is a great gift from the divine, intended to be good. It is usually done through the crown chakra or third eye chakra. Spirit is asking you to listen inside and speak with them. Yeah, so there you go. This is how many, if you're, regardless, this is how many feminines can tell what the masculine is going through right now. This doesn't surprise me one bit that this card will come out. And then we have the Broken. Something's ending. We've got a 9. We know in tarot 10 shows completion. I think it's Pythagoras who wrote about 9 being the completion of a cycle. Every person in your life serves a purpose. You never love in vain unless by choice. If you have had a broken heart recently, what can you take from the pain into your next relationship to make you a better partner? Yeah, I mean, there is a transition, an ending the masculine is going through, and the feminine knows. Temperance also can be about transmutation. So maybe one of the things that the feminine knows the masculine is doing is processing, sifting through, thinking back over this previous relationship or connection, whether it's romantic or not, that they're now coming out of or leaving behind, and saying, okay, what was good in this? What things did I learn about myself that I enjoyed and like? Which things do I definitely never want to repeat? Which things in myself do I want to heal? Which patterns do I want to change? Okay, if you're the feminine and you resonate with this, then you're bang on. Yeah, there is a transition, and you're picking up on it. Okay, so let's get one more. Well, my intention is one. We'll see how many come out. One more card. I'm so sorry. Oh. Okay, one more card for the feminine. Let's see. Victim. That's interesting. Who's the victim? This card is a bit of a caution as well. Like, don't let yourself be a victim. If you're this squirrel, you know, and someone who's this dragon or like this dragon comes along, notice the red flags. You know, I mean, they're probably not up to much good. I think really this card is kind of saying this person who feels like they're a victim, yes, they have been tricked and duped and they might be a victim in some sense, but did they choose to ignore the obvious signs that this other person wasn't to be trusted? So I'm wondering, because everything so far has shown what the feminine is observing from the masculine. So is the feminine seeing that the masculine, yes, has been a victim, but also they did sort of get themselves into that situation? Let's see. Anything else? Can you clarify this victim card, please? Gossip. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, whether the feminine is hearing things, people are gossiping about the masculine, they're picking up telepathically. It's almost like I'm seeing what's going on with the masculine and they're having to work through some things. In part, you know, they sort of got themselves into this situation. I'm noticing all of the green, the heart chakra here. So, So the feminine could also be picking up on a change in the masculine growth, maybe heart chakra activation, opening their heart, doing healing. Could also be if the masculine is now almost seeing the world through, sounds weird, but if they're seeing the world through their heart chakra, so if they're looking at things, you know, not head over heart, but heart over head, so they've reconnected with their emotions and are connecting with people in more of like an empathetic way, they're kind of seeing things in a new way. So they're realizing maybe that they did get on board with someone who was kind of shallow or gossipy or superficial, that they have maybe at times pushed the divine feminine into a position of feeling like a victim, or that they've been abused or manipulated, that they've let themselves be a victim. It's almost this heart-based energy is leading the masculine to see things in a different way, and I think some of the realizations might be painful, but we're still on the side of the feminine, so I still believe this is something the divine feminine is aware of, that the masculine is going through. Okay, so let's move into the masculine side. I'm going to put these cards back because I want to reuse them for the masculine, and maybe the same ones will need to come out. These twin flame readings are so interesting every week. I can never predict how they're going to go. And so far, since I've been doing Twin Flame Tuesday, every week has been very, very different from the last. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Can you show us, please, Spirit, what is going on within this twin flame connection from the perspective of the divine masculine? What's going on, please? We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Two of Swords reversed. We have the High Priestess, Pisces, and we have the Page of Cups reversed. I can tell you one thing, the masculine is looking very closely at the feminine right now. We're not actually saying anything to them, but definitely very aware of them. We've got the Devil in reverse, Capricorn. We've got the Five of Swords, Eight of Swords reversed. Did we not start with that? Yeah, Eight of Swords reversed for the divine feminine there. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, so that wheel is back, Sagittarius. Okay, so let me just see what's on the back. Wow, amazing. The Four of Wands, but it came out reversed. So you see, what we had was the divine feminine picking up very, very well on what is going on with the divine masculine at this time. Four of Wands reversed. Wow. Okay, so one of the things I want to say, what's going on with the divine masculine, is everything we just discussed in terms of the divine feminine's perception of the masculine. So we know that message. In addition, the masculine is looking at the divine feminine as being attractive, inspiring, confident, very happy within themselves. So whether the feminine truly feels that way or not, that's how the masculine is perceiving them. Also, the masculine feels that the feminine is growing something, building something. The feminine could have children or pets. If it's not anything like that, then the feminine could be investing in something. It could be themselves. Maybe they've got a different lifestyle going on, trying to make healthier habits or something. It could be a business idea or a hobby, whatever it is. So I feel like the masculine, in their opinion, is actively watching the feminine growing something. Not just generally speaking, but like, the masculine feels there is something specific the feminine is doing, again, whether they are or not. For me, the Queen of Wands, though, is that queen that's always slightly out of reach. She comes across as a fabulous person. We've never seen this person represented by the Queen of Wands having a bad day. We've maybe never seen them in their pajamas with their hair excuse me, hair looking scruffy or anything like that. They always look amazing. So the masculine right now is feeling about, hold on, ooh, sorry, apparently the masculine doesn't want to be exposed here. So the masculine is feeling that they haven't sort of been really close to the feminine. They haven't seen behind the scenes. Okay, the Devil in reverse is interesting. This is either talking about the masculine pulling back and dealing with any feelings of obsession that they were, or codependency that they were struggling with around the feminine, or trying not to go there. They might sort of be like one step away from this observing becoming something pretty unhealthy. So let me just clarify. Two of Wands. The Nine of Wands reversed, and we have the World in reverse. Oh, so the masculine could be looking at the feminine and feeling like they're about to make a transition, or they're saying, I, the masculine, am about to make a transition which will allow me to walk towards the feminine. Okay, so what's this? Two of Swords reversed with the Five of Swords. So Two of Swords reversed, taking off the blindfold, seeing things clearly, understanding where there's conflict in their life, who they've been arguing with pointlessly, how they've been getting inside their head and overthinking things. I can see here the masculine is feeling the prompt from spirit, from the divine, from their intuition, to reach out and say something, to connect with the feminine. But Page of Cups is reversed, the wheel is reversed. For some reason they're not doing it. Even though they're not overthinking this anymore, they're not doubting it, they know intuitively with the High Priestess, this is something I want to do, it feels good to do it, they're not doing it. So let's see why not. Strength, yeah, holding themselves back, pushing down this desire to say something. We have Leo energy there. The Empress, the feminine, divine feminine here, Taurus, Libra, and we have the Chariot, Cancer. I think the masculine believes the feminine is really focused on a goal and is pushing forward and is wondering, is there room for me in your life at this time? Because I'm drawn back to that Queen of Wands, who I feel is, let me show you the card up close. Can you see she's sprinkling something on this flower? It's almost like you've planted something and you're diligently focusing on it and growing it, and the masculine is saying, I'm not sure if there's room for me in this chariot as well. You're in the chariot, you're pushing forward, you're moving at speed, and I don't know if I should try and jump on or not. Maybe I'm just going to be shoved off and then I'll go crashing to the ground. But so I think that's the only reason. What is it that they would like to say to the feminine? What would the masculine like to say to the feminine at this time, please? Two of Cups reversed and the Hierophant. So I think they want the feminine to know what is going on around them, which foundation it is, which connection or which relationship is, I wanted to say, I heard the word dissolving or dissolved. I think they also would actually like to say to the feminine, I know things haven't been great between us, or we haven't even been connecting in like a physical 3D sense, we haven't spoken, but I have always felt connected to you, and I kind of, I want to repair this, I want to rebuild it, and possibly to offer some kind of a commitment, something big. The thing is though, what I'm getting just specifically today with these cards, I feel the Chariot is moving quickly. And whereas a Hierophant is an energy of putting down a foundation and building upon that foundation. So it's like two polar opposite energies here. The masculine wants to get the feminine and ground them and root them and say, let's plant the seeds together and build and stay here together. Whereas how they're perceiving the feminine, whether it's accurate or not, is that the feminine is moving. There's no room for planting seeds and keeping them in one place. Whatever the feminine is growing, they're doing it quickly and at pace and keeping it moving. So I think that's why the masculine is feeling like, I can't come forward with this offer right now. With the devil in reverse, they could be resisting the temptation to try and hold the feminine in place. So it's almost like they're holding back a little bit, in their opinion, because it's a selfless, compassionate, kind thing to do. It's like, I see you right now, you're making things happen, you know, the feminine, you're keeping things moving, and if I come forward with an offer, because we, you know, I feel with the High Priestess, we both want this opportunity, you will accept it and it will hold you back. And I want you to keep moving at this time. I want you to keep going after whatever goal it is that you have set. So I'm not, you know, I'm holding on to this offer for now, because, you know, I want you to reach your goals. I don't want to hold you in place. Okay, so if you're the feminine watching this, you might be thinking, I can do both, but just from the masculine's perspective, that's kind of what they're thinking right now. Okay. Let's see. What's going on for the divine masculine, please? Illumination, yes. And we had the Sun card reversed. I probably shuffled it through now, but look, we've got the clouds, we've got the rain, that ending, and what this is bringing in is a new beginning, and the masculine knows it. That's why they're not fighting it. The feminine also knows it. They somehow can sense it telepathically or see it. We've got 20 here, 2 or 0 could be relevant, or of course the number 2. Your intuition is correct and is guiding you in the right direction. Trust your gut in this matter. Yeah, that's why they're not fighting this ending, because they know. And they also believe they're trusting their intuition in thinking that now is not the best time to come forward, you know, and offer whatever it is they want to offer, whatever kind of commitment or official thing this is to the feminine. Okay. Let's see what else is going on for the masculine, please. Creation, and that connects to the crown chakra. So yeah, definitely this illumination, seeing the truth of things. And we have abundance. Okay, I feel like this is what the masculine feels the feminine is doing. I do also feel, as I said, the masculine wants to offer something to the feminine. It's like, let's create abundance together, let's create a home, a foundation, a relationship, happiness. I don't know, the feeling I'm getting is that the masculine is saying this is not the perfect time, and the wheel is reversed. You know, if we think of the Wheel of Fortune as representing divine timing, it's reversed. So from their perspective, it's like, imagine a train is speeding past and you've just got to jump on it. It's kind of scary anyway to do that, but there are going to be some moments that are more opportune than others. For example, if you jump straight into the middle of a carriage, you know, you're just going to bounce off the window, versus say jumping on at the end when maybe you've got something you can try and grab onto. It's kind of like that. They want to get on this speeding train or chariot with you and build with you, but they've got to come forward at the right time, and they don't want to jump on and slow you down. Interesting. Let me get one more. Victim. Yeah, I mean, that just takes me back to the message that came through for the divine feminine, seeing what's going on with the masculine. So that's just confirmation there. Yeah, and also, you know, I'm not going to jump on this train with you yet because I am still closing out this previous cycle and I need to do this first. Right. This has been a fascinating reading. Please let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. If you don't want to sort of say anything about your situation, just leave like an emoji or something, because this has been such a unique reading and I'd love to know who this is resonating with. And one thing that's really striking me is, now it's not too surprising because we're talking about twins, so this kind of telepathy, picking up on each other, we know is a thing, but today it's almost like when I'm looking at the feminine, it's almost like what wants to come through is how the feminine is seeing the masculine, and for the masculine, a lot of what came through is how they're seeing the feminine and what they're picking up from with the feminine. So I don't know if if you're feeling lots of like crossing energy, and a lot of what you're feeling at this time is you picking up on your twin and vice versa, but there's a real selflessness actually to today's reading. Like, both twins are more concerned with what's going on with their twin and feeling like, okay, is this the right time? Is this not the right time for them? More so maybe from the masculine. I feel like the feminine is kind of doing their thing and saying, okay, I see what you're going through, fair enough. I think the feminine has been selfless for a long time. But it feels almost like a very new energy for the masculine to be tapping into, with all this heart chakra, activation and connection. So I think this is the first time